Today we are talking about the growing importance of Russia's northern capital as a transport hub for Russia, particularly with regards to its ports. Hardly surprising considering the city's location, situated as it is on the banks of the River Neva at the head of the Gulf of Finland on the Baltic Sea. It really has become Russia's major trade gateway in the northwest. So the city's ports really are its lifeblood, forming a part of the major transport corridor linking Scandinavia to Russia and Eastern Europe. So considering the degree of maritime activity in the region, hardly surprising again that shipbuilding forms a massive part of the local economy, as indeed it has since the 18th century. And just about 2 hours drive from here is the port city of Vyborg, which has a large shipyard, one of the largest in the area. And our correspondent Igor Rodnev went there recently to discover how Vyborg and other port cities like it are undergoing something of a regeneration at the moment.
It was ships like this that first brought people and prosperity to this windy and desolate place a millennium ago. Even then, this was a melting pot, where Vikings, Karelians and Slavs exchanged furs and honey.
Look at these amulets. A lot of the traders believed in different religions, and when they would come into a port, they would wear the right one to be received better and to avoid taxes.
Vyacheslav works as an attendant at Vyborg Castle. What is now a town grew out of this imposing sea fortress. Always a border outpost, it was besieged tens of times as it changed hands between Russians, Swedes and Finns.
All these dramatic, important historical and social events of the past 7 centuries have flowed through this city. If it was not on the coast, none of this would have happened.
The city's architecture reflects its various owners.
Almost every single aspect of the history of this place is to do with seafaring. But it's not just about the heritage.
The Vyborg shipyard is one of the biggest in Russia. Even as many industries struggled to adapt to the new market economy of the 1990s, it kept working. Its equipment may look outdated, and a third of its workers are approaching retirement age. But an order for 2 Gazprom drilling platforms worth more than $2 billion means the future is bright. A new modern wharf will soon be built. The company director says that despite lags in technology and production methods, Russia's shipbuilding is competitive.
I don't think we're worse than our Western colleagues. If we were worse than them, why we would get all these orders? We have been doing this for a long time.
Like Vyborg before it, Ust-Luga is a port that will spawn a town. Over the next 7 years, $20 billion will be poured into the project. In a country where infrastructure has struggled to keep up with economic demands, it's a breakthrough.
You can see how this place is developing by simply looking around. Back in 1997, this was just an empty plot of land.
With every other building a valuable artifact, St. Petersburg may seem like a city that belongs to history. But with tens of ambitious projects planned, it is at the center of a major economic development program, credit crunch or not. And as fast as Russia's window into Europe is once again a blueprint for its future.
Well, in that report, Igor mentioned the port of Ust-Luga, which is currently enjoying a $20 billion investment. So I'm very pleased to welcome Max Shirokov, the head of the seaport at Ust-Luga, to discuss that more with me. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
Now, I understand that the initial idea of this port in Ust-Luga began in the late 90s, but really became crystallized in about 2002. So can you just explain to me what it is you guys are building in Ust-Luga and what it is that makes that port so unique?
Yeah, thanks for that question. Basically, Ust-Luga is to become the largest port on the Baltics with a planned cargo turnover of around 170 million tons, which makes it one of the best ports in Russia and one of the 10 largest ports in the world. So basically, what we plan to do is that we plan to allow local manufacturers to get direct access to the sea, to cut on costs, and to have the ability to transport their cargo outside of this country.
Now, I know that there are already 3 very large cargo ports in St. Petersburg. It's a very busy transit hub here. Is there really a need for another such a large port?
There is definitely a need. Why? Because we did not build it just for, for somebody to come in and tell us, hey guys, we need, we have something to transship. No, every terminal has its dedicated cargo already, and everybody wants to have more.
One of the problems with St. Petersburg being such a busy transit hub is that it does get quite congested. So how will you at Ustluga get around that?
Basically, Ustluga is not St. Petersburg. It's Leningrad Oblast. It is located 170 kilometers from here to the west. All right? So railroad systems of Russia, they plan to invest close to 200 billion rubles by year 2025 in order to build new rails to bypass the congestion cluster of St. Petersburg. So there is no risk. It'll bypass. It'll go around.
Well, best of luck with that.
Thanks a lot.
Max Shirokov, head of the seaport at Ustluga, thank you very much for joining us this morning here on RT. Oh, that is all from the Russia Close Up team for now, but do join us. We're here in St. Petersburg throughout